Hello world, welcome to a very belated episode 14 of the Knit Upriver podcast. My name is Carrie. I'm the dyer behind Yakagani Yarns, and I'm coming to you as always from southwestern Pennsylvania, where I live with my husband Todd and our boxer Tonka. Today does happen to be Tuesday, August 1st, 2017. Be honest, it's been probably about 2 months, almost, maybe a little more, a little less, since I've talked to you, and I'm not going to make excuses other than to say, yeah, life, it happens. So, if you're a returning viewer, thank you very much for coming back and spending some time with me today, and if you're a new viewer, I appreciate you giving me the chance. I hope you like what you see. You can find me on Instagram as @YakYarns. On Ravelry, my personal ID is Carrie Jean, and I do have a group for the Yakagani Yarns. If you search under the groups tab, you'll find that. We also have a Facebook page, as well as a website and an online Etsy store. And I will put links to all of that stuff in the show notes. You'll be able to find a link to the show notes in the bar below. So, it has been a very long time since I've talked to you guys. So I'm going to start with some of the things I have finished since we talked the last. First up, and I didn't grab my sock blockers, please forgive me, but I'm going to show you. I had been working on these a lot during the last episode, and I actually finished them. I finished my Pinstripe Socks. Yay! Now, the yarn I used for the body, this is a Nomadic Yarns in her Neville colorway on the twisty sock base. Okay. And then the mini that I used for the heel here, I didn't put any other silver on it. I felt the heel was enough. But that is one of the Yakagani Yarns Mon Sock minis in the silver colorway. And I'm thrilled with the way these turned out. I did take them with me to Peru, but I did not have a chance to wear them. The weather on our vacation was actually probably mid-60s, low 70s, so it wasn't cold, and I didn't really need to wear a whole lot of hand socks. So they have not been worn yet. I'm waiting for the weather to cool down just a bit more before they will see their first appearance on my Tootsies. But I'm very pleased with the way that these worked out. Now, the Pinstripe sock pattern that I based these on is by Julia Swart. I modified the pattern to work over a 60 stitch sock, and I do have notes for all of that on my project page, so if you're curious as to how I adjusted everything, it's in there. And then I did a true afterthought heel. So there those are. Yay! New pair of socks. Don't know how many that is for the year. I'm nowhere near having a box of socks because I don't have time to knit a pair of socks a month. Let's face it. The next thing I finished, and I had talked about this before, this was one of the projects that was left when my grandmother passed away at the beginning of May. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it, but I ended up turning it into a cowl. Please don't ask me what the yarn was. I did not make a project page for this. This is something I inherited. It is a fingering weight. It is, I think, superwash wool, and she had been crocheting it flat. I finished it by doing a real quick seam down the back, and it's not terribly long or anything, but it's still a nice enough length. You know, you can tuck it into your coat. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I might hold on to it. I may give it to one of my cousins. We'll just have to wait and see. But it is done, and I'm quite pleased with the way it turned out. I think Grandma would be pleased too. I'd like to think that. So yeah. That one, kind of a bittersweet thing, and I still have plenty of that yarn left, so I think I may try to make it into a cardigan for myself at some point. Haven't decided on a pattern. I have a couple in my queue that I'm considering, but if you have a really good suggestion for a fingering weight sweater, please let me know. Comment below, tag me on Ravelry with it. Just ideas are always appreciated. The next, and yes, for those of you who may be wondering, I got my hair cut. I whacked it all off. It was starting to bother me. by the time I went to see the hairdresser, it was down past my shoulders, and it had gotten to the point that it was a ponytailer I had every day. So I whacked my hair, and I'm happy with it. So I feel a little bit more like me now. My next project, I have not blocked it yet. I need to. It's just one of those things that I haven't gotten around to. I've been preparing for a pretty big festival, and we'll talk about that after a bit. But I finished the Streisand Stripes Infinity Cowl. The pattern is by Marlene Lynx. Now, the main variegated that you're seeing, this was a Mon sock river raft. This is for, it's a single strand of yarn knit into a sock blank. Each one is one of a kind. I never repeat this one. This one happened to have my name, my friend Vicky's name, and my friend Patty's name. And then the different colored minis that you're seeing in there are all just different colors of the Mon sock minis. So there we go. Let's look at the blue and yellow without the jog there on the stripe. That was lovely, wasn't it? Once I block this, I think it'll turn out really, really well. And I'm thrilled. Quite pleased with the way that came out. Not sure what I'm doing with it. I think it might be a gift. I'm not quite certain. Not going to say who it might be for, because again, not determined. But that's another one off the needles. I'm considering starting another sock weight or fingering weight cowl like this, though, because it was just so nice for when we were, traveling around and going to do different things, because it's simply knit, 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 knit. You don't have to think about it. Just go until you run out of yarn. So I might be throwing another one on the needles. We'll have to wait and see. And then the last finished object, I did not have to show you on the last podcast. This was a test knit that I did. Rebecca Shepler, also known on Ravelry as Dusty Tree Knits. She's also the owner of Dusty Tree Soaps. If you haven't tried those, you need to. I'll put a link to her shop in the show notes. She wrote a pattern specifically for Yock DK. And when she told, we had talked about this, when she told me what she was going to do and showed me her original sample, I had an idea for a colorway. So I dyed up the colorway and I knit a sample in it. And yesterday, July 31st, I put a pre-order for kits for what I'm about to show you up in my Etsy store. So if you want one of these, you can go order one. And here it is. This is the Over the Falls shawl. I'm hoping you can see. There's the variegated. Rebecca did such an incredible job with this pattern. Oh my god, you guys, this shawl almost knits itself. It is done with DK weight yarn on a size 8 needle, and it goes so quickly. It's huge too. Look at this. And it just keeps going. It is massive and squishy and wonderful, and I can't wait for it to be done as a sample in the booth for festivals so that I can wear it this winter. Or I might have to make another one. It's hard to say. But I absolutely love this. Right now, the kits are only available in this color. But coming up, I will have copies of the pattern in my booth that you will be able to purchase. Not so much for the immediate festival that I'm leaving for tomorrow, but for all the other ones, the remainder of the year. I will have some kits in this color, but you'll also be able to just buy the pattern and get yarn in the colors that you would like. Or you can go in the online Etsy store, order 2 skeins of DK that you feel good together. This looks incredible. Also, Rebecca did a sample in Autumn Woods and Chestnut if you wanted something a little more earthy, autumny kind of feeling. It looked amazing. Another tester had actually ordered some Yock DK in Mr. Morgan and Chestnut, and those looked absolutely amazing together. And a final tester did it in Autumn Orchard and Warm Honey, and that looked just as great. So if you need some suggestions of some other colors that you might be interested in working up, you can always message me, send me an email, send me a message through Etsy if you're interested, because Rebecca, right now, until August 5th, Rebecca has a coupon code active on Ravelry. It is capital OVERTHE capital FALLS, and that's good for 50% off the price of the pattern. It's only good till August 5th though, so I hope you're watching this in plenty of time. Go grab the pattern. It is absolutely incredible, and like I said, if you need help with colors or you aren't sure what to do, you can always message me and ask. But it is specifically designed to go with my Yak DK weight yarn, so that's awesome. Little shop blurb there, sorry about that. On to my works in progress. I have 3 at the moment, which is down. I was at one point up to 7. I had 7 works in progress. I was going a little nuts there. It was crazy. I had way too much stuff going on. So I'm back down to 3. I can handle that. 3 isn't bad. I don't feel like I'm going to cry because I'm overwhelmed. The first ones I'm going to show you here, if I can get them to straighten themselves out. This, what the heck did they do? Okay. Aside from being a jumble on the needles right now because they did something really, really dumb. These are a new pair of socks for my husband. I am doing, once again, that favorite pattern of mine, the Afterthought Heels Revisited by Laura Linneman. If you have not tried toe-up socks yet, please do. This is a very, very good pattern. Not hard at all. Very well written, easy to follow. But these are the socks that I'm working on. And this is actually being knit in one of my double knit soft blanks. I don't know if you can see it there. It's 2 strands of yarn actually running together. It tangled itself around the needle. That's the mess that you're seeing in the corner there. But this is a one-of-a-kind sock blank again. I call this a 2-man river raft. There are several 2-man river rafts still in the Etsy store if you're interested. I will be taking them out this evening because I am headed for a festival and I don't want to accidentally sell something I cannot duplicate. So, this 2-man river raft, and these are going to be for my husband. So, I need to get to about 8.5 inches, and then I can mark where I'm going to put my heel and continue on with the leg. But not as much progress as I'd hoped to have made on these. I think when I showed them to you last, I was down in here somewhere. So I did make a bit. Most of that was airplane knitting from when we were on vacation, but I'm getting there. Oh, what else do we have? The reason I haven't worked on these, it is on the couch here behind me. This is the Sunny Spread by Ellen Gormley. This is crocheted, and I'm working on it as a wedding gift for a friend of my husband's. They are getting married the very, very first weekend in September. And yeah. I think when I showed this to you last time, I may have only had one and a partial rows done. I now have half the rows done. Yay, go me. And it's getting there. If I can continue currently with my average of 2 blocks a night, I'll be done in plenty of time. If. That being said, I get bored working on the same thing all the time. I'm sure you do too. So, fingers crossed, if you help me stay motivated, that would be much appreciated. Yell at me, send me emails, whatever. Just comment below. I don't care. I do get very, very bored. It's a great pattern. I've actually made it before. It's just one of those things. I know I have a deadline, and you know how things are when you have a deadline. It's the last thing you actually want to work on, right? The last item I'm going to show you, I started right before we left for vacation. I had talked about this. It had been dream knitting at that point in time. This is the Swatara shawl by Liverpool Yarns. You do have to either buy this from them at a show. I'm not sure if it's available on Ravelry, but it is a paid for pattern, so I can't show you any of the details about it. I can tell you it is a traditional, it's based on a traditional HAP shawl, H-A-P. It is worked in garter stitch from the point of the triangle out, and then there is a 2-color ripple edging that is picked up and worked flat after you have the main body done. So here's where I'm at, come on, with my Swatara. Oops. My needle ran itself through the shawl. And I'm going to try to show this to you so I don't muck everything up. Yeah, there we go. Alright, here we go. I have the main triangle part done. You can see the point down here. Okay. This is being done in, again, a Yakagini yarn. I don't have the one tag. This is my Yak sock base. It's 100% superwash merino fingering weight yarn, and once it blocks, I can tell you this yarn gets so squishy and soft. It's awesome. I love it. Chestnut is the contrast color I'm using. The main color I'm using, which is this one here, this is dogwood. So you've got these awesome shades of pink and brown, and it's just all kinds of yumminess. And then the chestnut goes really, really well with it. Okay, there's chestnut. Oh, just a nice, warm, almost chocolatey kind of brown. I really, really like it. It's got to be one of my favorite shades of brown. But I have just picked up, if you can see here, just picked up the brown on the edging, and I'm either getting ready to knit the first row, or I have knit the first, no, I did knit the first row, getting ready to start the ripple. Again, airplane knitting. That's where a lot of that got done. So, hopefully the next time I talk to you guys, A, won't be 2 months from now, and B, I'll have some more progress to show you on all 3 of these things. So that is where we are at as far as FOs and works in progress. Honestly can't remember a whole lot of what I acquired. I did do the Frederic Fiber Festival right before we left. It was the middle of June. It was right before we left on vacation, and I didn't, I'm trying to think, I don't think I bought any yarn while I was there. What I did buy are 2 new favorite mugs. My new favorite mug and my husband's new favorite mug. Now, my new favorite mug I got from Dancing Pig Pottery. She is out of Gettysburg. There's her phone number and her website and everything. Okay. She uses non-toxic glazes, and it is, dishwasher, microwave safe. They're hand-thrown mugs. Look at my new mug. Oh. Sentiment is very, very apt for Mondays. Okay, just saying. Really, really like, she had a whole bunch of different designs. The other one I considered, but it seemed a bit too morbid, was a cup that read "The blood of my enemies." For those of you out there who are into horror and whatnot, might be something you want to consider. You never know. The other mug I bought while I was there is my husband's new favorite mug, and he really, really liked this. My mother-in-law was with me when I got it, and it was right before our wedding anniversary. She says, "Why are you buying him that mug? He will never use it." I'm like, "Oh, you don't know your son very well." Yes, yes, he will. But I got it from Clay Monster Pottery. Okay, now first off, you guys, the thing on the front, I believe, is a cookie jar. How cool is that cookie jar? You ready? Are you ready? Look at it. Again, hand-thrown, hand-painted. She was saying these actually started as a mistake. they didn't mean to do this, so they originally ran with it, but I absolutely love this. So yes, it's fun, it's quirky, and he loves using it. He absolutely, my 50-year-old husband absolutely loves using his clay monster pottery mug. So if you're looking for something a little offbeat, a little bit quirky, go check her out. She does the best thing. She has the holders for like your sponges and stuff on your sink. She has toothbrush holders. She does mugs. She does all sorts of trays and plates and pots and, like I said, the cookie jars. I can't get enough of them. I love them. I absolutely do. And if I see her again, I'm quite certain I'll be getting another mug. Maybe this one will be for me this time. Oh my. So I'm not going to do a typical month in review because there's been a lot of stuff. Yes, I did the Frederic Faber Festival. Yes, we had our trip to Peru, which was phenomenal. It was so good to get away. I cannot even begin to explain it. We had beautiful weather for the entire trip. Never saw one raindrop, which is a huge contrast to what we've been having here at home. Today happens to be the exception to that rule. It's bright and sunny and quite pleasant outside, but that's okay. I will probably put together, I did take some video and stuff while we were down there, probably put together at least a little snippet and either put it in here or maybe at the end. Might put it at the end, that way people who don't want to see it don't have to worry about it. That was great, and then we got home from that, and right at the beginning of July, our daughter Madison came home on leave for 12 days. For those of you who are not aware, Madison is currently enlisted in the United States Air Force. She's stationed down near Panama City, Florida. So we don't get to see her as often as we like, and this was a chance for her to come home and spend some time with family and just generally chill and really, really enjoy hanging out. I did work most of it because I do have festivals coming up, so that's okay. My husband was working quite a bit of it too. But we still got to spend time with her. We still got to see her. And it was really, really nice. We had a big picnic with the family and all that good stuff. Then, during that period, I had a cousin who passed away. I spent plenty of time in funeral homes this year. Thank you very much. I'm done now. I don't want to have to do any more. In case anybody out there in the universe is listening. And the latter half of July has just been a whirlwind of activity and dyeing. I've been down in the dye studio every day because I leave tomorrow morning to head to Schaumburg, Illinois for Stitches Midwest. I'm still kind of in shock. I'm that wonderful mix of excited, nervous, and just a little scared because I've never been there before. Gonna be probably the biggest festival I've done to date, but that's okay. We'll handle it. If you are coming out to Stitches, please, please, please stop by booth number 206. Say hello. I would absolutely love to meet you in person, put a face with a name if you have ordered before. Thursday they have the market preview, which is for registered attendees only. So if you're registered for classes or you registered in advance online, that kind of stuff, that time frame will be just for you. It does open to the public Friday, 10 a.m. and it will be open until 6 p.m. Saturday again, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday it's 10 a.m. to 4. So plenty of opportunities. If you're out that way, please, please, please stop by booth 206. I would love to meet you. You can squish all the yarns in person and see everything. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. You can show me projects if you've made something with my yarn. I'd love to see what you made. It's like seeing, what your kids grew up to become. It's kind of cool. In addition to all the squishy yarns, they are going to be running, we are participating, if my mouth would work, we'd be doing good, in the GPS game that is going on the Stitches Marketplace. Now what the GPS game is you download a free QR code reader onto your phone, and then the booths that are participating, there are 20 some of us, I don't have the exact number, and I cannot give you the names of everything. I do have all of that information listed on my Facebook page. But you download the QR code reader, then you go around to the different booths, and you have to look for where the QR code is. It's not going to be right out front. They're not going to point it out to you. You do have to find it. It's part of the GPS thing. You got to look for it. It's not going to be an easy given. You scan the QR code in that booth, takes you to a website, you fill out a little questionnaire and enter your email, and that gives you one entry. And for every booth you go to, you get one additional entry. So the more codes you scan, the more booths you go to, the more chances you have to win. And I believe Ron from the Buffalo Wool Company said right now I think there's over $2,500 in prizes, something like that. There's a winner every hour, and they will email you and give you all the details there. And some of it is gift certificates, some of it is actual product, so it's a toss-up. You just got to see where it's all falling out. Then they're gathering everything, and there will be one grand prize basket that will be given away on Sunday at I think it's either 1 or 2 o'clock, but that's all in the rules. It's all spelled out there. So yeah, and every day that you're there, you can go back around to those same booths and scan, and you get more chances to win. So the more you attend, the more you scan, the more booths you go see. I know it's such a hardship. You have to go look at Yummy Yarn. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm very, very anxious for it to happen. So we'll see how this goes. More shop info and updates. We do have currently have another knit along and crochet along going on. It started on July 1st. So far nobody's really showing any interest, so I'm hoping to maybe spark some. This is a shawl along. You can choose any pattern you like, any weight of yarn, as long as you use at least 100 grams. You do get bonus entries, as always, for using Yakagani yarns, and it's going to run through September 30th. Now, if you were interested, Rebecca and I are talking about running a knit along specifically for the Over the Falls shawl. Since it'll be separate, we'll have one knit along for that, but you can double dip. So you could work on the Over the Falls shawl and participate in the shawl along and have more chances to win. It's all about the winning. You gotta get it in. But I would love to have you join the knit along. I know some of you had purchased yarn. I'm hoping maybe you just needed the spark to say, hey, it's going. So yes, it did start. If you are not a member of the Ravelry group, please go check that out. I would love for you to join in on everything. Let's see, what else do we have going on? Oh, newsletter. I started a newsletter specifically for Yakagani yarns. If you go to the website, the yakaganiyarns.weebly.com, that will have right on the front page, I believe it is, like got down toward the bottom, but it's on there. I swear it's on there. You can sign up for the newsletter. I would love for you to do that. I've only sent out one issue, so you haven't missed a whole lot right now. But yeah, I'd love to have you sign up for the newsletter. So that's exciting. That's new. And then I am working on my holiday colors. Gonna do a couple for Halloween. I think 2. I have ideas. And then I'm thinking 1 or 2 for Christmas, winter kind of thing. Do I have exact time frames? No, I'm sorry. I don't. But I promise you they are in works. I have the idea here. It's just getting time to get down to the studio to actually put it on the yarn. So that'll probably happen next week. That I will have a day to play with some of that stuff and all those good things. And I think that is about it for now. So yeah, I apologize for the hiatus. I did have a lot to talk about, but yes, I do talk kind of fast. So that's okay. If you have any questions for me, comments, whatever, please leave them in the boxes below. I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, I'll probably put the Peru pictures, videos, that kind of thing. May even throw in some extra pictures of the over the fall shawl from the photo shoot that Rebecca and I did together. That way you can see that as well. And until next time, happy crafting. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Roxy, and this is the avenue here during the winter solstice at noon. The sun is right down the middle, which was yesterday. And up on top of the hill, there's a wall that was built. This is all about 1,200 years old. There's Carrie. Say hello, Carrie.